jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Yo, shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know the first in the building. Mr. Gumbo, a.k.a. Hot Grease, is on deck with it. What's good with it, Gumbo? Salute to you, man. We were just talking about you. We was like, man, we need to find out where Gumbo at. And I said, that's easy, man. All you do is just follow the cologne scent. That's all. You know what I'm saying? It might be some shit we ain't never smelt before, goddamn, but Gumbo put his stamp on it. You know what I'm saying? Just follow the goddamn cologne, man. You good. You know what I'm saying? You are good. We got some hot topics today, of course. Let me continue to get the chat. Arnold Brown is in the building. What's good with it, Arnold? WCS salute. Tyrese is on deck. What's good with it? Another one? Yes. We had to get another one. It's a lot going on. We're going to talk about Carissa Shields and Tank Davis. We're going to talk about Ryan Garcia, Errol Spence Jr. And we got some things to talk about. Yeah, we got some topics to talk about, as only I know how to deliver. You know what I'm saying? Tyrese on deck. What it do, Tyrese? I see you in the building. Stick 'em boys fishing and sports on deck. Salute WCS, salute chat fam, and the clown show continues. Talk to them, man. Talk to them. Shout out to Christopher White in the building. Salute to you, Christopher. How you feeling, man? Everybody in the building, those of you that's on your way, just finesse that button. You know what I'm saying? Finesse that button if you feel like it. So, as you're looking at the thumbnail, I didn't really spruce it up too much. It has a lot of material to go along with it. It's a lot that I got to say about what's currently going on. And who's to blame? Who should we finger point? What direction? When we're talking about Ryan Garcia pinning a drug test result, but yet a lot of people talking about him calling out Errol Spence Jr. And you know, Errol has released a couple of videos with him on the street running, which is rare footage, almost like looking at the Yeti in real time, seeing the Yeti of Bigfoot. You know what I'm saying? It's rare footage, man. Real talk, it's rare footage. But we get to see it in 4K though. We're going to talk about that. But I want to kind of touch bases on an ongoing beef that has hit the airwaves. All right. Carissa Shields is live right now. Have to be a sister. It has to be a sister of mine and many others, because I am black. She is black. We're not related, but that is something that we used to call the ladies that was considered black women in life. Okay, there's been a back and forth verbal sparring going online because Tank Davis pretty much dropped the hammer on Carissa Shields and said some pretty harsh things. Told her, how he feel that she looks and so forth. And and everything else that goes along with the insults that he tossed over in her lap. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we knew she was going to respond. And this seems to be a topic that she wants to entertain. Of all things, she wants to go at Tank Davis. It just seems like all my people are beefing online. Seriously. With the exception of Ryan Garcia, no matter how much he tries to be black. I'm just saying, it's a lot of my people that's beefing online. I don't know if this is, where's the beef type season, but it's just back and forth over and over again. You know what I'm saying? And Tank, I told y'all, man, Tank know how to do it without being a nutcase, with getting his name out there and everything. He does it a different way, man. He'll just go at people. Like he pulled up on Devin Haney. Like he is defending Ryan Garcia, even though he popped positive. This is a guy who stepped in the ring with Tank and Tank stopped him. There seems to be a rapport between these guys. But I want to let you listen to a portion, because I have to be very careful with playing her audio, because she will take action. She's been known to take action against males, especially black males. I'm just saying. This is a person who goes around and says she love, comparing herself to male fighters and she can beat male fighters and all this other shit she talks about. And in her mind, man, hey, she may believe she can do it, but she says she done beat up plenty of male fighters in sparring. I get it. But, from the outside observing with 2 knockouts to your record, we don't see you going in here with the ranked fighters and having the same results. Sparring is sparring, and we seen a lot play out with the fighter who put out the footage is being dropped in sparring, and that's viral. I'm not gonna lie to you, it went viral, y'all. So let's get to this audio that I want you to hear, and this is her live as we speak. I just wanted to let you hear what people tend to criticize Carissa Shields about a lot. All right, here we go.
But I gotta apologize about my opinion about a fight. First of all, I love how y'all on here comment like, oh, she not ugly, she pretty. Baby, listen here. It's nothing that no man or woman on this earth can do to make me feel ugly.
So for those of you that may not hear, she's talking with her hands and clapping. Look, most of the sisters I know that clap with their hands, they pretty argumentative. They overly aggressive, and that's a habit that they have. It's some dudes that talk like that. But when you get women that talk with their hands, they used to arguing. They used to being argumentative. They used to being overly aggressive and getting their point across. Hey, I'm not tripping on it. No, it's human. It's humanistic to certain people and how they express themselves. I get it, but it is frowned upon. And for her to say that she don't need anybody to validate whether she look good or not, is you validating whether you look good or not. If you're trying to tell somebody that's trying and attempting to say that, oh, you're not an ugly girl, you this, that, and the other. Listen, if you speak on it in a way that you show concern about what they're saying, then you're validating what they're saying. You feel that you have to explain yourself. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it moving.
Nothing in this world. Nothing. It's nothing in this world that can make me feel any type of way about me. I love me. I love everything about me. I ain't worried about that. But the reason I responded to Tank how I did is because when you come disrespecting me, I'm disrespecting you. A dude on here said you ain't beat no man. I beat up plenty dudes in sparring. Plenty of them. My hoes my own. I go in there and show you how to box. I ain't gotta be stronger. I ain't gotta be faster, which I'm faster than most of them. But I tell you what, like when it comes to this boxing shit, I do this for real. And that's why I be telling y'all, dudes who don't box, it's really dudes who don't box and dudes who box who ain't really up on no level. I want to let you know that
Who ain't really up on no level, y'all. Those of you that's in the chat. If you ain't really up on no level, don't come at her. If you ain't up on no level, I'm calling y'all out. Gumbo, Carlos, Arnold, Christopher. If y'all ain't up on no level, y'all ain't got them making no progress with her. Y'all got to get up on her level. If y'all ain't up on no level, don't come talking that nonsense to her. For real. Because she will put them goddamn speed paws on you. And, you know, I heard some of y'all in here talking about how Devin didn't have no power. Well, she has two knockouts. And one thing different about her, you know, she talk a game as if she got freaking 15 knockouts. More knockouts than she got wins. I'm serious. So if y'all ain't up in y'all level, y'all better ain't go get none. Y'all ain't got no chance. I'm serious. So ain't no come in here. Ain't no half stepping. Man, y'all better get y'all ain't no stuff together. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't no real. This ain't no fake. For real. Cap no ain't in here. It ain't no cap no ain't on over here. Cap no ain't.
y'all cannot fuck with me. And it's best that if you ever think that you can fuck with me up on any level, try me. That's the issue that I have. Somebody said it's
See, it's the difference when, you know, Shields, you say nobody's fucking with you. You got dudes that get hurt out here all the time. You get women that get hurt up here all the time. I don't know why you have to go through this situation all the time, man. Just be great, man. You say you the GWOAT. That acronym that you use, GWOAT, you coined it. Okay, that is yours. That's yours. But it seems like with the greatest woman of all time, you're not happy with it. You feel me? It seems like it's not enough. You're not gonna be happy until you do some street shit. Or you're not gonna really be satisfied until some street shit pop off. Like this is earth we're talking about. This is real life. This is stuff when you tell people ain't nobody. I mean, I'm just saying, I know the situation that happened, you know what I'm saying, in your hometown, Flint, Michigan, where the trainer was hit in the back of the head by one of your family members. I heard about, you know, the situation that happened when the sparring footage came, and speaking with my guy, Derek, you know what I'm saying, how he explained it, how other people explained it, that, you know, you didn't want to let it go. You try to say the man, you try to ruin his reputation. And for that, Shields, I can't fucks with you, man. You will go above and beyond to ruin somebody. You are a no remorse having woman. Nothing about you is feminine. You are a vicious human being. For you to go at people the way you do and always want to challenge them. It's some people that just don't want to have conversations. They just don't want to have conversations. They're not going to sit up there and clap their hands and talk. I don't have a clear understanding, nor am I trying to research one as to why you have to, believe that every time there's a highlight or something going on with you, it has to be drama that's associated or lined up as somebody else, another person, man. I mean, like, say nobody can fuck with you, man. Okay. Get in there with the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watch you put in some mat time with a guy on the mat in jiu-jitsu. And you was hitting on the mat frustrated. You was hitting on the mat frustrated, man, that he was so easily transitioning from one to the other. And you couldn't use your so-called power and strength. You saying boxing is not all about strength. Well, on the mat, you do have to have some strength. And you just can't freaking throw a temper tantrum and get all upset and mad. That's only going to get you in worse trouble. And you was frustrated that you wasn't able to overpower a sparring partner on the mat that was much smaller than you. But everything in life takes time, man. Like, I don't know where you at with you'll beat guys up and stuff like that. I guess you just talking about the average dudes that you think they haven't really fought in the ring. It's plenty of us that never fought on the professional level that believe they won't lose to you in a fight. It doesn't matter if you're talking about boxing or freaking BJJ, wrestling, none of that. There's a lot of us out here believe we won't lose to you in a fight. That's just the way it is for the real alpha males. You know what I'm saying? That the real alpha males, it's a lot of us that don't believe that's possible.
It's sparring, but y'all go crazy over sparring clips by the dudes. Y'all talking about this sparring, but when I got dropped by a dude 5 years ago who had on worn gloves, y'all talking about it's just sparring. No, it ain't. Sparring is getting you ready for the fight. You can't name a boxer who don't post who don't.
That's cap. That's cap. I don't know why she keep on lying, man. I talked to Derek. I even did an interview. He didn't have no worn gloves on. She tried to say they had manipulate the pattern. And shout out to her coach, upstanding dude. You know what I'm saying? Upstanding dude, man. He checked the gloves and told her it wasn't nothing wrong with the gloves. But she still went over there trying to make a big deal about the gloves. And then from my understanding, they was out there trying to talk sense into her because she went out there to get a knife or something. I mean, this is where people take it from the boxing ring into the streets and it don't end well. You know what I'm saying? It's just logic is out the window at the end of the day. It just doesn't make any sense to keep on talking about somebody had worn gloves or they had manipulated the gloves like this a Panama Luis Resto type of shit that was going on. And no, you just got caught, both of y'all in the middle of a combination, and he landed on you. And that was a guy that was in sparring. It was 5 years ago, but this was a guy who you consider not to be elite. And he dropped you. And he had worn gloves. So let's just take, for instance, worn gloves, that Carissa. Imagine what a dude with just pretty basic fundamentals in fighting and landing on you with no gloves on. Do you ever think about that? Or is this just something that you say boxing? You know what I'm saying? I mean, who goes through life as a lady always trying to say they're going to beat a man up? Ain't nobody trying to hear that, man.
Don't post highlights or clips of they sparring because sparring is very important. So like I was telling you fools, I've been boxing since I was 11 years old. I went to the Olympics not once, but twice. I didn't just go to the Olympics. I didn't just go. I won the Olympics twice.
So at this point, the Carissa, all respect, you did go to the Olympics. You represented us well, and you did it twice. Gold standard champion. You know what I'm saying? There's no but that I have in caveat. Salute to you for doing that, man. You know what I'm saying? You did represent the US of A, and you went in there and won twice. I look at it like this. You shouldn't have to tell people that now. Your stamp for the boxing annals, because you are a Hall of Famer as we speak. Your stamp of approval shouldn't have to mean you validating yourself every time that you go in with fans to remind them that you won the Olympics twice and you have 2 gold medals. They already know that. What overclouds that to them is just basically your energy. You know what I'm saying? Basically what you got going on right now. That's what pretty much dilutes everything that deals with the Olympics. You know, you're always battling. You want to prove to people, hey, I can be the man. I can be the man. No, just go to something else. Go to mixed martial arts like you're doing and fight the women in mixed martial arts. Beat them up, because that's a whole different genre of combat sports for you. So that's all I'm saying. Just try to go over there and beat them up. Leave the man alone. Because listen, if you go in the ring with a boxer and they beat you up or drop you multiple times, that male who did it, he's not going to get the love that you think, bro. They're just going to look at him like he did something he was supposed to do. It's going to have to be fair, square. You know, you go in there and you lose that fight, you're going to have to freaking shake it up and say, okay, now I know. Not freaking try to dang take the dude's life or set him up or try to goddamn, plot and scheme on how to cause harm to his life or whatever. If you get in there with a boxer in your weight class, let's try that for instance. A fighter's in your weight class outside the top 15, but he's in your weight class and he has a decent record. And you're going 3, because in order for you to compete with a man, you have to do what a man does, right? It's not going to benefit a man to go in there and fight 2-minute rounds. So you go in there and fight 3-minute rounds. You know what I'm saying? 3-minute rounds with a male fighter that has a winning record in your weight class. He will stop you. I'm just telling you, he will stop you. He will absolutely stop you. We don't have to go into the top 15 rankings. They'll say, oh, that's unfair. You know what I'm saying? I understand you saying you accomplished more than Tank has in your career. Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. Carissa, you've accomplished more than Tank. You are, like I said, a Hall of Famer as we speak, and you did what you're supposed to do. I'm not going to put no buts in there, but I'm just saying, if you fight a middleweight male or a super middleweight, all that speed you talking about you have is not gonna it's not gonna happen. When they start digging to the body, it's gonna be almost like them doing construction work with a jackhammer, and you land there and they say, okay, you ready? And they hit the button, that jackhammer, man, it's not gonna be pretty. It's not gonna feel pretty, man.
Fuck you talking about? And I turned pro, 13-time world champ, 3-time undisputed champ. I done went overseas and beat up these girls. Come on.
Shout out to 13 times. I'm not taking nothing away. She's 13 times world champion. I'm taking nothing away from that at all. That's facts. 2-time gold standing Olympians. Facts. 3 times undisputed. Facts. That's facts. Point blank. But with all those accolades and achievements, it seems like, Carissa, you're not happy. It just seems like that's not enough. You're not happy. You got to be happy. You got to find something within the scope and realm of what your accomplishment encapsulates. You got to be happy with that and find a way to improve, because it's almost like your vindication is not there. It seems like you're not getting the same energy from the fans to validate that, hey, this is what Carissa did. It's fans out here that respect what you did in boxing. But some of those fans, they'll look at it like, man, she'll never hear me give her a compliment because of her energy and her personality and her freaking, the venom and toxicity that she brings with just how she treats people.
Now, ask your favorite fighter, would he do it? Your favorite fighter ain't even going to leave the U.S. to fight against nobody who got a world title. I'm just keeping it real.
There's plenty of male fighters that's went over into another fighter's backyard. Plenty of male fighters did that. Plenty. In MMA and boxing, plenty. Plenty.
And then, must I speak on my MMA? Must I speak on MMA?
She said, must I speak on my MMA? You can't speak on your MMA because MMA is sport. Okay? Boxing is a sport. Your mixed martial arts is still unproven, even though you've went in there and had some bouts in the cage. Once again, salute to her. But you're not fighting top level opposition for the amount of time that you have inside the ring. You know what I'm saying? You're not fighting the same level competition Holly Holmes did when she came from boxing over here. You're not doing it. There's fighters that came over here and fought tough competition and got fucked up and fought through it. Heather Hardy, tough as I don't know what, man. Amanda Serrano, even though I said, she should stick to boxing because her MMA, her mixed martial arts skill set is pretty boring. But still, she's been over here long before you did, Carissa. Heather Hardy and plenty other, boxers done came over here to mixed martial arts. I mean, you're not the only one. And plus your competition, you ain't been in a fight in mixed martial arts where you've been busted up. Y'all look at the fight Heather Hardy got kicked in the freaking grill in the face with a high kick rather. Shin to bone. Busted her nose open. She wanted to keep on fighting. We haven't seen you in a fight. We seen you in half-hearted arm bars. You know what I'm saying? Half-hearted arm bars. Submission attempts. And with people who didn't really want to break your arm because you still got to fight. I'm just going to put it out there. They didn't want to break your arm because Carissa understands something. Not mixed martial arts, grappling, okay, is a manipulation sport, a joint manipulation kind of art. Joint manipulation is basically placing it in a position that is unnatural. You know what I'm saying? The submission comes with the human being that joint is attached to, the owner of that joint. Basically signing either verbal, you know what I'm saying, or by physical contact, by tapping out. Verbal submission or physical submission. With that said, all I'm saying is you can't brag on your mixed martial arts just yet until you get more experience. You're still young in life. You can get that experience. You got the boxing skills, but you have a long ways to go on the mat. Let me see what she have to say about her mixed martial arts.
Ain't even got no experience in that. Fighting on live TV. Beating them down. Quit playing with me.
I'm going to stop it right there because I'm just not going to go in detail about beating them down. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. I'll find another day to really give you a long ways to go when it comes to mixed martial arts. But I commend you for stepping over from boxing to the cage, but you're not fighting no killers. You're not fighting the top 15 ranked females. You know what I'm saying? For one, they really don't have weight classes in mixed martial arts. Thank God for PFL in really appeasing you, baby, really, laying out the carpet for you to fight at that weight. You know what I'm saying? Because what Kayla Harrison did, she won the tournament twice over there fighting at 155. You know what I'm saying? 155 is considered lightweight. In the women's division, the highest the UFC goes up to is 145. That's where the hitters are at. And they got hitters in the PFL who bought Bellator now. But when it comes down to it, you have to have a weight class. You don't want to go and say, okay, I want to continue to talk to the owners about inventing a new weight class when the weight class before that barely have any women in it. And you want to make a weight class for a belt for you to fight somebody that doesn't have a respectable record in mixed martial arts, just to say that you're a dual champion, a dual sport champion, world champion. I don't know if they're going to buy that, man. When you have women over there like Kayla Harrison, who's finally made her debut in the UFC, and she went in there and really dominated Holly Holmes, a former bantamweight world champion, who went in there and fought the best at that time in Ronda Rousey. You know what I'm saying? Legitimate, the best in the world at that time. None of these half steppers, some of these mediocre fighters. She went in there and beat the best. All right. But I can't continue to freaking speak on, that MMA stuff. I can go on and on about this. I got to get back to the next topic, man. Stickin' Boy say scoring, man. It's beyond scoring, big dog. You feel me? It's beyond scoring, man. It's just, my sister, the sisters, right? The black women, they do have an aggressive nature about them. But as black men, we have an aggressive nature. But we look for femininity in these women. That has since left. You know what I'm saying? In some women. That has since left. When they want to try to compete and place themselves in a hierarchy that they will always. I never could do it. I never could be in a relationship with a woman who has that sense of you'll be a man with power when I say you will. Until then, you will hold down a subordinate position beneath the level that I currently hold. You understand me? That's just how this relationship is going to be. You get it, Scotty? You got it? No, I don't got it. Because you joking, right? Yeah, I'm joking. Yeah, that's what I thought. I never could be in a relationship like that, man. Shout out to Mr. Gumbo, a.k.a. Hot Grease, with $10 on the tree, man. Thanks for goddamn once again for supporting the channel. Gumbo putting a 10 and lighting up that tree over here, man. Much appreciated. He said, ain't no ain't because you can't, ain't no ain't because no New Orleans Saint can't no ain't no ain't. Hey, man, you better leave her freaking delivery alone. Everybody's articulation is different, Gumbo. The ingredients that she put in her vernacular gumbo. Don't sit up there and hate on it, Gumbo. That's her slang bow. Or should I say slungbo? That's her slumbo. The ingredients she put in her slang. Ain't no slung bone in the gumbo. But shout out to the $10 on the tree, man. Appreciate you. Christopher said, I'm not going to jail over no she, man. Dang. Well, look at it this way. Here's one thing I know for a fact. From the street to the core, to life, even being down here in the A where the rainbow community has women who fades away cleaner than mine. The black and crispies, the black and crispy, they shit is crispier than mine. And sometimes you got to remind them of what they are because they disrespectful some of these cats, dog. And it's for no freaking reason. For no reason, dog. It's just they sit up there and they got the attire on. They trying to look like a man, walk like a man. You know, some of them be having some baddies with them, man. And, you know, dudes be looking at like, damn. If I was with you, if I try to talk to you, then you would want me to look a certain way. But the female you with is trying to be a man. She look worse than the expectations that you would demand of me. So I'm running this through my head like, how are you with her when you wouldn't be with a man that looked like her? And then the female who's dressed up as a male try to turn and say, hey, nigga, what you looking at, nigga? Yeah, I fucked you up. And I'm like, damn, dude, just keep it moving. And then some of these situations turn bad. And the mug get reminded that she's a female after they try to go up here and beat on a man. It happens all the time, man. They overly aggressive for no freaking reason. You know what I'm saying? For no freaking reason. Christopher, salute to Christopher with the $2 super sticker, lighting up the tree of life for WCS, as well as Gumbo. I appreciate y'all brothers, man, for supporting the channel. One love, man. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for always showing up, supporting. You and everybody else is in the chat. Appreciate the donations. You already know. He manipulated her jawline. Shout out to the OG Mr. Golden on deck. Shout out to Blue Hustle. You know what I'm saying? Blue Hustle. I'm trying to cut it short so it can sound. Blue Hustle on deck. You know what I'm saying? What up with it, man? He said, what up, WCS in the chat? Salute to you. Salute to the Georgia Queen in the building. Jessica has arrived on deck, people. I see you. Salute. Appreciate all y'all pulling up. Pugilist in the building. No tune-up. Spence your fight boots after he beats Crowley. Okay. So we got somebody in here finally that spoke up about what's on the screen. Okay. Now peep this out. Ryan Garcia shows no care in the world about whatever test is coming up. But before I get to that, I just want to remind you all, we have 81 days until the 1-year anniversary of the T-Mobile massacre. All right. We have 81 days until the 1-year anniversary of the T-Mobile massacre. I repeat, 81 days remains until we have the 1-year reunion, a reunion of the T-Mobile massacre. I just thought I'd let y'all know that. Now back to Ryan Garcia has been calling out Errol Spence Jr., who sits at 28-1. All right. If those of you that may not be abreast or updated on the situation, there was an event that took place in Vegas that basically consisted of two welterweight boxers. One of those boxers' name was Terrence Bud Crawford, and the other was Errol Spence Jr. Both of these fighters was undefeated until the bell rung. Once the bell rung, we witnessed two pound-for-pound fighters finally collide inside the center square. What we thought and what we actually seen play out, people, was heartbreaking to many, but electrifying to the others. Everybody was picking their fighter. You had the Crawford fans, you had the Spence fans. All I can say is the ones who was betting on Crawford, they left the arena and they still to this day is smiling all day. That's all I'm saying. To this day, they all smiles. They all smiles to this day. And that's just the way it played out, y'all. Now, y'all have heard me speak about this situation. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to do that exactly. I'm just trying to give you the build up to this fight right here. So Spence loses. That monster, Terrence Bud Crawford, becomes 2-time undisputed, the first fighter ever, male fighter to do it. First male fighter to ever do it. And as you heard, Carissa Shields, she has done some, that males haven't done yet. Yes, she is. She's absolutely correct. She is 3 times. Salute to her. But in this particular scenario, man, Crawford went in there and destroyed, Errol Spence Jr., which leads us to this right here. We're approaching, with 81 days remaining, the 1-year anniversary. Since that massacre, that assault that was inflicted, we don't know when Spence was due to step back in the square. We don't know. We don't have the information, the intel, the data, any of that transmission. But now all of a sudden, fresh off his win over Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, who many say his win has been tainted with controversy because his test came back dirty. Now, like I said before, the heaviest, more severe, the more potent performance-enhancing drugs, Nandrolone, he was cleared of after a second investigation and examination. He's cleared. He's cleared of that. Now there's Ostarine, as freaking Ryan Garcia says, ostrich. Now he has his B sample being re-examined. In the meantime, Ryan Garcia has been outside, y'all. This man has been outside. He's been doing a tour. He's been talking to people. He's been every freaking where. Unlike Errol Spence Jr., he is finally popping his head out. And I'm happy because I have summoned him to peek his head out just so he can revive some of the casualties that used to be his fans, revive their souls. Even the morticians was complaining to me. They were saying, man, is there any way you can get in contact with Errol? Because we're tired of his ex-fans coming over here, goddamn, just asking, can you put me to rest, please? The anguish is too much for me. It's too much. Even they say they had to work day on and stay on. Day on and stay on, trying to figure this out. Ryan Garcia said, hey, I haven't heard anything else, the WCS. I haven't heard too much. All I know is, I was over there training with Diddy James, who was the former trainer of Errol Spence. Now we have somewhat of a situation going on. We have contentiousness between Ryan Garcia, a 140-pounder, and Errol Spence Jr., who's in the absolute division. That means it's no weight class. We don't know what weight class he's contending at. Last time in 2023, it was 147. But at this point, after seeing, him reappear with no shirt on, he's looking like he can compete, and he's gonna step in there with Jarrell Miller or something. I don't freaking know. So by Errol Spence, we put to be determined. That's what we're gonna put. But in the meantime, Ryan Garcia has been outside. He has this situation. He's feeling some type of way about Errol Spence not paying Derrick James. He feels some type of way because he paid Derrick James more than what Spence was paid him. I'm just going off what's out there in the media. Whether this is real life, I'm talking about real resentment or fake. We're finding out in boxing, a lot of the play is becoming more of a repetitive way to get free promo. And this is only in boxing. MMA, this shit don't go down like that, y'all. But boxing, I swear to God, it's just always some drama for free promo. If a boxer ain't freaking on the high speed chase, goddamn robbing little kids at the nursery of their lunch money, you know what I'm saying? Going in Walmart, running through there, jumping in the bouncy balls and shit, or goddamn making a sandwich in that bitch. Just doing some off the wall stuff, man. Ryan Garcia seems unbothered that he has a pending test, and he has since called out several names. He said he was moving up there to fight Boots. He said he was going to fight Spence. He was going to fight Fundora. But what is catching and what is sticking is a potential fight with Errol Spence Jr. Now, what I do see that's going on, y'all, I'm going to be honest. I see a lot of people not giving a damn to really, feel some type of way about Ryan Garcia testing dirty. Because I think with them, they kind of looking at it like maybe it was a con job. Because how can he automatically so-called get cleared of nandrolone? How can Kim Sumpler, the former executive of the New York State Athletic Commission, step down doing this? How? Why all of a sudden, if it takes 72 hours for these tests to come back, why did it come out during Canelo and Jaime Munguia's fight week? You have to ask yourself, why did it take so long for a test to come back? And then it tested dirty. It tested positive for performance enhancing drugs, later to be withdrawn. One half. Now they're dealing with ostarine, which is a less severe substance, with a lot of people on here didn't even know what it was until Ryan popped. And all of a sudden we have these unqualified experts that want to say, hey, you better take my shit serious. I'm qualified lab technician. I filled out the card on the back of the freaking Captain Crunch box. Okay. And I sent it in, and all I had to do was send in $1 money order, and they was going to give me a full-blown certificate and saying I am now certified lab tech. You have Captain Crunch lab techs who are going through this whole freaking relay of information, trying to convince us that if you want to come over here and get the truth, get the truth. Now, ostarine is a SARM. SARM, Sierra Alpha Romeo Mike. Now, those of you, y'all know what a SARM is. That's them talking. Y'all know what a SARM. I don't need to go into detail. You ain't going in detail because you don't fucking know. Anyway, Ryan Garcia has the ostarine pending for a secondary examination. And this man has shown that he could give a damn. He could give a damn about this fucking pending test. He said he want to fight Errol Spence Jr. AT&T. You know, I mean, what better place to fight EJ? He needs a revival. And I don't believe that they're at each other's neck, you know what I'm saying, like naturally, genuinely. You know what I'm saying? There's animosity because this is the same guy who bet EJ 20 grand that Rolly Romero will defeat Tank Davis. And Rolly didn't even make it out the 6th round. And then you see Ryan Garcia over there trying to be a thug. Somebody he'll take off on somebody. I say, here we go. The kid that dressed like he's a full-time bar mitzvah advocate is talking about taking off. Ladies and gentlemen, he's not talking about catching a plane either. He was talking about actually fighting someone who has said something about him in social media. I swear to you, I can't make this shit up. Now I must address what he mentioned. He says he wants to fight Errol Spence Jr. And more than likely the fight is going to be in Texas because the whole deal is to revive or resuscitate Errol Spence's career. Errol Spence has been out of sight, out of mind, almost like he's been in banishment. But no one banned him from boxing. He took his first loss. And the people haven't heard too much from him since then. He's just been disinterested and speaking to his fans. But he want to come back on the scene arguing with a boxer? Like Ryan Garcia is 30 weight classes below Errol Spence. And they're talking about potentially fighting at middleweight. I guess it's a good weight class to say I'm willing to go up there now that finally Mauricio Suleiman has found that him trying to protect Jamal Charlo wasn't a good idea. So shout out to Carlos Adames. You know what I'm saying? Well deserved. You know, Jamal Charlo didn't want to fight him. So he ended up coming off the belt the easy way. You know what I'm saying? He had been champion damn near 3 years. He ain't defended shit or something like that. I mean, he haven't defended the motherfucking like that long. But anyway, it's a similar situation because Jamal Charlo came back and fought at 166. Ryan Garcia, last fight, he came in at 143.2. Now I can see if EJ was still at 147. Then people start talking like, hey, maybe you should fight Ennis. And see the bad thing about it is that a lot of people want to see that fight between Ennis and Ryan Garcia. And I even said, I say, hey, Ennis should jump on this Ryan Garcia's momentum. You know what I'm saying? Because he's buzzing right now. And that's what Ennis need. He need a Ryan Garcia. It may not be as far as the quality goes, but he need a Ryan Garcia to kind of get that boost. But Ryan Garcia is going to be making all the calls, though. And I don't think Team Ennis want any of that. But it'd be good if that shit was happening, if he was calling out Ennis. But he's skipping over Ennis, y'all. He's skipping over Ennis and going straight to Errol Spence at 160. 2 weight classes above welterweight, y'all. You know what I'm saying? 2 weight classes above welterweight. How does that works? How does that work? Somebody tell me, how does that work? How can a fighter that's just coming off a win and suppose he had tainted samples and you have boxing talking about him potentially fighting Errol Spence in Texas? Let me get to the chat right quick. Don't want to get too far behind. But y'all just think about that. You actually have boxing fans who are showing interest in Ryan Garcia, who weighed in at 143, to step up and fight Errol Spence at 160. I am not making this up. When Crawford said he wanted to fight Canelo, they sent out a full task force, y'all, of different task force special tactical forces team across the world to make sure that didn't happen, because they felt like Crawford was in violation. But here you go, pretty boy Ryan Garcia, they're up here co-signing. They're up there saying, okay, cool, that's a good fight. Spence need that to get back as a tune-up. He need that, because Spence say he don't do tune-ups. Ryan say, yeah, I'm about to go up here and finish what Crawford couldn't. Okay. All right. You talking you okay. All right. No tune-up. Spence should fight Boots after he beats Crowley. Don't disagree. Ryan is a tune-up, right? Fight Boots, then Spence. Let's go, big fish. No tune-up, Spence. I'm pushing Boots on Spence hard. Okay. Look, I have zero resistance on what you pushing. But like I said, that'll be a good fight for Ryan. If you can go in there and have a good showing with Boots, who is a champion, that means Ryan Garcia would have almost had 3 straight championship fights, minus Oscar Duarte. He would have had Tank, Devin Haney, and then moving up to fight Boots, who's coming off his first defense of Crowley. That would be a good look. That would be a good look, y'all. Very good look. You know, I'm on board with that, man. Pugilist. I'm on board with that. Shout out Andrew Charles with the $5 lighting up the tree, man. Much appreciated. Your support is always appreciated, man. One love. Salute to you, man. Thanks for that $5 super chat lighting up that tree. And for those of you that's over here, yes, World Combat Sports, man. Independent. Multitasker. I'm not as active as I was back in the day with all the article writing and stuff like that. You know, people get old, people have situations they got to take care of. Hey, man, hey, be patient with a brother, dog. That's all I'm saying. Golden said, I can't wait until that day comes because I know you're going to have one hell of a show. If you're talking about the 1 year anniversary, you best believe it, man. You best believe it. The 1 year anniversary is going to be OTC, and Mr. Golden, I might have to goddamn have a drink for you. You know what I'm saying? All the OGs out there, man. You know what I'm saying? All the supporters. We might have to goddamn do it a little bit different. We might have to bring out the red cups there, OG. You know what I'm saying? 81 days. Get your pre-order fish sandwiches now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, pick up them fish sandwiches. Get ready for that 1 year anniversary that's on the horizon. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Spence first Ryan. I'll pay money to see that. Hey, we will too. I think from what a lot of, conversations behind the scenes, they're actually trying to run this, man. They're trying to make this fight happen. Look, that's regardless if Ryan, whatever happened with Ryan. Just think about it. Oscarine, for real. People are trying to pretend like they're lab techs. They trying to act like they actually been tested. I put some mayo, right? And I got some vinegar. And then, I grab one Tylenol, all right? Time release. You want time release because you want this to be able to work, right? And this, hey, y'all gotta listen to this. This really work. And you get one lemon. Man, come on. Don't nobody want to hear that, bro. Y'all don't know what Oscarine was till he popped. Doing the Dougie. He said, at Andrew, no Ryan tune-up. We need to be calling for Boots versus Spence to be on the Crawford versus Canelo undercard. Ooh, what you trying to say? That would be the greatest card ever. Oh, so y'all actually believe? So you actually believe that Spence pride will allow him to fight on a Crawford Canelo undercard when Spence was crawling out. Canelo prior to stepping in the ring July 29th? You actually believe his pride will allow him to fight on a UC of Crawford, who actually beat him, and Canelo, who he wanted to step in the ring with prior to stepping in there with Crawford? It ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, people. It sounds good. I ain't gonna lie, it sounds good. And I'm pretty sure the Turk can make it happen. But do you know the humiliation that goes with that? Oh man, he'd be wearing it like a bow tie, man. Like a bow tie in the back and a bow tie on the front. It would look so awkward for him to be on the undercard of Crawford Canelo. Ugh. Y'all trying to stir up some nonsense, man. Y'all need to stop being instigators for real. This is boxing talk over here. Man, y'all need to stop being instigators for real, dog. I said it was 81 days before the year anniversary, and y'all trying to burn it down before it even get here. Spence boots would be cool, but I don't think Spence is trying to fight at 147. No. Boots will have to come up to 154 at least. You know what I'm saying? Spence can't make no 147. Let's be real, Andrew. It's not happening. Now, as I say that, I do stand corrected. Andrew. If the fight is in Texas, Spence will be able to make 145 because, you know, he's sipping on that Texas tea. He would get down to 145 easily. People say, oh, man, I thought he could make 147. Yeah, if the fight is in Texas, he could. You know what I'm saying? If the fight is in Texas, he's good, y'all. If he's out of Texas, no, he got to fight at 160, 154. You know what I'm saying? I still think that Errol Spence is going to fight Canelo. What bring you to that? Where's the money in that right now? Now, look, who's going to pay? You got to think about who's going to pay for Errol to fight Canelo. Now, they'll pay for Ryan because Ryan is bringing the entertainment value and the praising value in the Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing that. He's proven that he can sell. You know what I'm saying? He's a man of many characters. He's proved that he can sell. So that's different. But for Canelo to fight Errol Spence at this point in time, coming off what Crawford did to him, people are going to say this, Christopher. They're going to say, oh, you willing to fight Errol Spence Jr., who's the leftovers of Terrence Crawford, but you refuse to step in the square with the man who did it to him? You don't want to step in the square with Crawford, who did Errol dirty? You want to go in there with a wounded fighter and get credit for it. So that'll be extremely contradicting, Canelo, because you say, I ain't know nothing. I know nothing from it. Yeah, you're definitely not going to get anything from going in there beating up on Spence. But check this out, though. Canelo has proven that if you're in his good graces, you will hear the final bell. But there's going to be one stipulation in the contract. Canelo must earn one knockdown to sell it to the crowd. See, Canelo's one knockdown, y'all. It's not a 10-8 round. No. Y'all got it all mixed up now. No. When Canelo knocks you down, it's like a 10-5. His one knockdown when he carrying a fighter, when he has that carry-on luggage, it's not a regular 10-8. No, Canelo's like a 10-5. That's to let people know, oh, Canelo's up in this fight. So he can just pretty much cruise the rest of the fight, man. Stop it, man. No Boots is willing to go to 154. It can happen. If Canelo accepts the Crawford fight, watch Boots versus Spence get made by Turk Al-Sheikh as well. It's a real possibility. I mean, that sounds good, man. It sounds good. But I haven't really heard the Turk talk about that yet. But that means nothing, Casanova. You know why? because we didn't even know they was trying to plan a fight with David Benavidez, to be honest. We didn't know the Big Turk was trying to set up a fight with Crawford and freaking David at 160. So, yeah, y'all clicking on something. You know what I'm saying? Y'all clicking. The cylinders are running. Big Turk, he's basically proven he can make anything happen. I just don't know about that UC, though. I don't know about that UC, man. I don't know about the UC. Jesus Christ, that'd be a heck of a card. God dang. Oof. I mean, oh man, that'd be a heck of a card, man. But that's one of the only ways it can happen if it's if it's going on in the States. We don't know how many cards he plan on putting on over here in the US. We haven't even got past the August 3rd card. You know what I'm saying? See, Crawford, he might mess that up. Crawford may go in there and beat Madrimov up so bad and look good doing it that Big Turk say, hey, Crawford, I got to have you fight over there in Saudi. I need to be selfish, my friend. I want you to come over there to the sandbox. I want you to fight in front of my people. I love you there, Sir Crawford. I love you. We're going to get you the big Canelo fight over in Saudi. Yeah, Big Turk can make that happen. But he said, hey, I made my debut over here. I don't have to continue, okay? I'm activating my Anui card. I'm going back to my home country, and you can go over there and fight. I'll make sure the money is good, and I'll make sure your suites and everything is good to go. We're going to try to put on that you and Canelo card over there. They ain't going to do that in the States. They're going right back over to the sandbox, man. We all need to push Boots on Spence now. He said no tune-ups. I don't know if I want to do that, bro. Because listen, Boots had an opportunity to keep that spark going when he signed with Matchroom, right? Have you heard anything else about his fight with Cody Crowley? I mean, Boots has to understand he has to find a way to fire up the engine. He needs to find a way to turn on the hose, man. He needs to find a way to keep the fire going. He says the same thing all the time. Before he was like, when I get the title, I'm going to step on him. When I get the titles, it's over. Crawford has no other place to run now. Well, yeah, he's still the unified champion, but everybody's talking about him moving up to 154 for a 4th division. You have a fight coming up in first defense of a title and nothing else. Boots, you have to find a way to talk that talk. Very talented fighter, highly talented fighter, but he has to find a way to keep the noise on him. He don't know how to wear the noise right, man. He's trying to get his suspension lowered by calling out big names. No. That don't even make any sense. That doesn't make any sense, bro. Spencer Ryan at Cowboy Stadium sounds like a winner. Yeah. Spencer Ryan at Cowboy Stadium. Jerry Jones are like that, man. Plus, it'll give a revival to Texas. The reason being is that Ryan Garcia has been training over there with Diddy James, who is the former trainer of Errol Spence Jr., y'all. You see how this story is just coming together? Like it's pollinating real good out here in the garden of the YTC, in the garden of boxing. It is. It's rooting right now pretty decent. And Ryan, has put out there he is fighting Errol Spence. So the backstory, once they, if this begin to materialize, right, and the ink dries, okay, just think about this. It was a time and place where I said Ryan is not a trash talker, man. He has proven me wrong with what the stuff he's been saying, prior to the fight, Devin Haney, the stuff he's been saying after the fight, how he's been, basically putting on this new bravado, man. This sense of arrogance, this funny arrogance of his. He put it out there and he say things. You say, oh man, that ain't true. And then it seems like it is. It has some authenticity to it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what? So he's level changed when it came to trash talking. I'm not gonna lie. Ryan has level changed, people. For real. Christopher said PBC is setting that up. Let's see, man. Let's see. See, just like we're talking about it right now, you got people in the chat saying, hey, I'm rocking with Ryan versus Spence. Just think about that. Ryan is pending a B sample test, and he's out here talking about everything other than that. He came out on fight week for Canelo Munguia. He wasn't hiding. He said, man, I ain't do none of that. He was sitting up here capping, though. I was smoking and drinking the whole time, knowing he wasn't smoking and drinking. And then on another podcast, he said it was fake. It was apple juice and shit like that. You know, the supposedly beer that he chugged on the scales, it wasn't even beer. You know what I'm saying? But look, you gotta check the box and him getting people's attention and say, oh my God, Ryan, you're too pretty for this, Ryan. Why are you gonna chug a beer? You're going to need every strength in your muscles to beat Devin. You know, no, brother. I have Errol beating boots. Well, you're not going to see it anytime soon because even Errol Spence is not thinking about fighting Boots. Like the money is not there, unfortunately. Boots got to find a way. He's in his 20s still. Boots just got to find a way to say, okay, well, I got to commit to changing up the game. Just like Kobe Covington, he was about to get released from the UFC and he turned heel. I mean, he turned heel worse than any fighter ever. Kobe became the bad guy. He started talking about the MAGA and he started associating himself with Trump, all that. And man, he got mad attention. You couldn't tell anybody nothing. They hated Kobe Covington. But he could fight. And he got the exposure. He got the fights that he wanted. With Boots, you have to change up your personality if you want the big fights. You're not just going to be able to carry it based off your performance merit alone and your talent. You're not going to be able to carry it like that, brother. You got to learn how to trash talk. You just can't say, I prove it into the ring. We know you can prove it in the ring, bro. But you got to learn the way, you know what I'm saying? YSM can only do so much, man. He's doing his job. He's putting you in front of the lens. He's doing the interviews. It's so much space that he has. You got to start sparking it up. You got to start lighting the lens on fire. You got to become an arsonist in this media, Jerron. You have to become an arsonist. You have to start burning down these fighters, man. You have to let your tongue go just like your hands. You understand? You have to, let that happen in that manner. You have to be free flowing with your mouthpiece like you are with your hands. And you're going to have to start breaking down these fighters and burning them, man. Leaving them in ashes, bro. Shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing in the building. What's good with the Blunts? Salute to you, man. Let's see Boots rack up 2 or 3 title defenses in the next 12 months. And then let's talk. Dang, 2 or 3. Listen. We talking about title defenses? Now I'm gonna assume that Crawford, he's not gonna be unified champion to the end of 25. I think it's gonna come one point in time, like if it's not a big fight, because Big Turk has mentioned trying to make Boots and Crawford. Okay, we've heard that. We heard him potentially Crawford Fundora at the end of the year. And then we heard potentially Crawford Boots and then Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's like Scrabble right now. You're trying to put all the words together to make sense, but it's going to take more than words in this scenario because the one that actually has a final say so is Big Turk. We can get up here and goddamn trying to put stuff together and stuff like it means something. It means nothing. I don't know. I think Boots them really want to stay at 47 to Crawford come off them belts, and they want to freaking try to unify. I don't blame them. But Boots is not a small freaking 47. He's not a small 47, man. Is he unified or WBC? I'm not sure who you're talking about there. Bruce, who's what? Is he unified? Let me see who you're talking about. Is he unified or WBC? No, Boots is the IBF. I don't know exactly who you're talking about. Provide some clarification. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, Crawford has his pick of the litter on whoever, you know, like obviously the 4th division title is priority, a 4th division. Obviously, along with those priorities, there's a laundry list of fighters that would definitely like to step in there with the pound for pound, right? You got Madrimov, disperse of him, and then it comes with either the unification or a huge big money fight, the biggest in boxing, would be Terrence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. So that right there, regardless, you know, if he's able to fight Canelo at 168 for the super middleweight undisputed titles, obviously we're talking about the grandiose of boxing fights, man. That would exclude a Boots Ennis. You know what I'm saying? If that fight comes into the conversation with Big Turk after Madrimov, and then they start talking about a potential Canelo Alvarez fight in 2025, I don't believe it will make any sense for him to even take another fight. Crawford take another fight after becoming the WBA and the WBO unified champion. If he's about to get a freaking multi-million-dollar paycheck and being able to contest or contend for Canelo's super middleweight titles, it's just too grand of a fight, man. Jay said Boots ain't got no beef going on, so he's light. He's like, hey man, talk that, Jay, man. Talk to him, Jay Money. Talk about that light, man. Talk about that dimly lit bulb. Talk about how it's flickering, man. He has to do something to get some electricity going, man. He says no beef going on, so his light is dim. Ryan's beefing with everybody, going after people's girls. See, you know, the whole time I didn't mention anything about that because for me, you know, it takes a person that has the bravado to make it stick. And right now, Ryan, you know, he has people tuned in to him, so he's gonna say anything and everything. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Him talking about he's sliding this girl's DM. Okay, that's old. That's old school, man. Shout out to Bo Mac in the building. Good evening. How's everybody on this blessed day? Salute to you, man. How's everybody over your way, man? Appreciate you pulling up as always. You know what I'm saying? 2024 on deck. Salute to you, man. He said Spence versus Ryan. Okay. Yeah, that's what we was kind of conversing about. Spence versus Ryan, Texas. That will definitely resuscitate boxing over there. It's not like they don't have boxing going on over there. But for Errol Spence, yeah, that'd be good for him to fight somebody like Ryan that's training over there right now with Derek. And whatever they got going on, yeah, it's a nice little clash, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice little clash. For real. Yeah, salute, man. Salute to Omaha, that, you know, pound for pound best in the game. That Omaha monster, man. No doubt about it. Hey, Bo Mac, who would you like to see Crawford fight after Madrimov? You know what I'm saying? Who would you like to see him fight? Boots quiet by nature like Frank Martin. Okay. Okay. Hey, Andrew saying Boots quiet by nature. Okay. You know what they say about quiet fighters in boxing now. They'll start to open their mouth when their tummy get a little bit, you know, empty. Oh man, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I need a check. Yeah. Keep on being quiet. Hey, Andrew, Hey, Tank gonna pull that quietness right out. You know what I'm saying? Frank Martin up there trying to kick logic. Hey, what you talking about, man? See, no, man, Tank ain't trying to hear all that logic. Now, I understand Frank Martin is a more mature, you know what I'm saying? They're around the same age. It's not that much of an age gap between Tank and Frank, but Frank has this, older spirit about him. But peep this out. Like, by the time they get down and start cutting weight and getting close to the fight, ooh, it's gonna get testy, man. Tank is gonna try to punk Frank even more than he's been doing. Guarantee that. But might say salute everybody in the chat on deck. Ryan vs. Spence sound nice. No doubt. No doubt. You know what I'm saying? Gumbo said, salute Bruce, Andrew, Big Blunts. Man, hey, Gumbo, you already been in the freaking chat for 2 days already, man. I mean, you act like they just pulled up. Andrew been over here for a good 2 hours already. You just catching up. Shit. Bomax says, Spence, after that Bud fight, we don't know how prepared he is mentally. Okay. After that Bud fight. Okay, so if I'm reading this correct, still Spencer Bud potential 2. You know what I'm saying? A rematch. You see, that's crazy, right? In 23, that was the talk of everything. You know what I'm saying? I said I blame Crawford for making it look too easy. He just made him look like nobody. But then he made him look like nobody so bad, and that shit just slid off the grid. People's like, no, he needs some time off. So yeah, a lot of people is thinking that way, that beat down removed some of, Errol Spence boxing life. A lot of people believe that. You know what I'm saying? Said we don't know how prepared he is mentally. Well, we found out that he can take some time off instead of going to see the eye doctor there, Bomac. He said he had cataracts for years. Even before July 29, 2023, the man had cataracts. And once he was out of that fight, he went on vacation instead of going to get it checked out and have the surgery until 2024. You know what I'm saying? All long enough for Crawford to get stripped of the IBF title. I'm just saying, man. Bud took years off Spence's career. Hey, he better find a way to goddamn, get him back. Because I definitely don't want him going in there, looking like a newie and goddamn Ryan land that left hook on him and spin him around like a ballerina. Spence can't have no freaking 140 pounder coming in there at 160 or whatever they trying to do and knocking this man down. No, he can't allow that to happen. Golden said, Bomac, Bud took more the years off of Errol's career, more than years. Yeah, man, he did him dirty. You know what I'm saying? He kept getting up. He kept being put down. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We've been speculating. All we know is we got to put some blame on Bomac for Errol Spence having a moment of prayer during that fight. That's all I'm saying. The instructions that you was giving him from turn the jab into a hook and then catch and shoot and all that. I mean, Spence over there goddamn praying to the Holy One, the Most High. This dude was praying. Come on, man. He don't hear nothing Derrick James got going on right now. How you gonna tell the man to turn the jab into a hook, dog? God dang. This every time I look at these pictures, man, the instructions was crazy. We always got to go back to it, when the instructions was being given, man.
Fucking slow for you. All right? You get a chance, counter that fucking jab over the fucking top. Sometimes turn that jab into a hook, all right? You don't have nothing left. You keep me to stay on the inside. Catch and counter.
Hey. Whoo. Masterclass, man. Masterclass. Masterclass. You know what I'm saying? Masterclass. That's all we can say on that. Masterclass. Bud more than ready for Canelo. Yeah, we know that, man. Definitely. You know, you got the mad scientists behind it giving instructions too. You know what I'm saying? You got to give yourself credit. I mean, that highlight clip right there says it all. And the fight went 9 rounds. But that was only like 3 or 4 clips from the fight that, you know, Crawford went in there and carried out, and they worked to perfection. It was brutal, man. It was brutal. How you gonna soften that man up like that? I mean, he touched him up so much he didn't even look the same, bro. Bud was not impressed with the Hammy McGill fight. Yeah, you know, I pretty much, you know, me and along with a lot of other people, but we consider that just like, you know, Crawford said he carried him, you know, but he didn't want Crawford to carry on luggage, but he wanted John Ryder, Mel Charlo, and Hammy McGill. Yeah, check those bags in, please. No, not this one. No, this one. No, not this one. He didn't want that goddamn freaking that check-in baggage with Crawford face on it, man. He said, no, not this one. No. What I don't understand is everyone is talking about Errol fighting Ryan. Why is he getting a pass for ducking the Bud rematch? Man, you look, I understand, OG, where you at, and with him straight up not wanting no parts of it. I get it. But you have to look at it like nobody's gonna wait on him again. I mean, we was waiting on to see if the rematch was gonna happen in 2024, the first semester of this year. And then he comes out in a wheelchair and it's raining outside and he goes live just with the phone in his hand just so y'all can see the patch. He didn't even say anything. Don't nobody want to really talk about it because they find it not relevant at this point. That OG, that's all I can say, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, he had ample amount of months from July 29th in 23 all the way to the end, the holidays. He was punching his passport. He was pretty much saying, hey, y'all talking about me, but I'm punching passports. He pretty much tried to use the old Charlo saying that we was broke and, you know, y'all need to go find something to do type of shit. Bud said Hammy was has too many weaknesses he saw. Oh, so what Hammy be? No, I wouldn't even say Hammy be a freaking a potential opponent. Not the way he looked in there, you know, against Canelo. So, but you never know, man. We didn't know that Big Chirk was trying to set up a freaking David Benavidez fight. You know what I'm saying? No doubt. Face of boxing, Bud Crawford, pound for pound #1, no debate. No doubt. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course you have those naysayers that's on the outer boundaries that stay out there, you know what I'm saying, mad as hell. They don't want to get too close to that topic no more. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people lost their homes, their cars, you know what I'm saying? Everything that they had closely attached to them. Refrigerators, you know what I'm saying? The shoes on their feet. They bet it all last year. And they still haven't been able to recoup that back. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Pound for pound #1, man. Hey, let me ask you this. How do you feel about them saying Anu is a hero? Anu gets knocked down and they call him a hero. But Bud, they talk about Gamboa touching him 10 years ago. And they saying he was chinny. No hero in that though. No hero, man. Crawford versus Canelo is not Canelo, then Fundora can get the work. Okay. All right. Crawford versus Canelo, if not Canelo, then Fundora. No doubt. Both of those are good fights. We know the Canelo fight, of course, will be the great fight. You know, for 3 times undisputed, of course. You know what I'm saying? And that 154. That undisputed run would be cool too. You know what I'm saying? Either way, he'll get credit. But a lot of people are now looking at it like before they was complaining about Crawford stepping up to 68. But now he's about to have a fight at 54. It seems like they kind of leaving it alone because, you know, Turk Al-Sheikh is more willing to make these fights. So they don't really have a leg to stand on. They don't have no defense mechanisms that make sense for a debate. You can't sit up here and say he ain't fought nobody. You can't say only person he fought on his resume was Spence, and Spence was on the pound for pound list with him. I mean, what else is there to talk about? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure, man. I know y'all gonna show out anyway, man. Real talk. They all food to Bud. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. Man, you don't have to call them food now. Well, at least, you know, he's able to eat. He's got them picking the entrees. He's deciding what entrees that he want to pick, you know, with the freaking step up to 154. And then I'm pretty sure you kind of seen some of the people talking about Boots. You know what I'm saying? Boots at this point in time, consider, you know, thinking about the entrees, Boots, you know, facing Crawford, there may be an appetizer. I don't know. I don't want to bring him into the equation. Drop the link so Bomac can come on and give us a little insight. No, man, like look, if he wanted to come on the panel, man, he would have said drop the link. I'm not gonna do that, man. Like, seriously, if you know, if he wanted to come on the panel, he'll come on the panel. Real talk. He'll say, hey, drop the link so I can come on the panel. I'll just shoot it to his phone or whatever. But I don't want to do that. You know, I don't know where he at. I don't know if he in the gym. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he up there watching Crawford, you know, beat up on a sparring partner. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he got going on, man. You know what I'm saying? You just got to chill and just take it as it is, bro. If he want to get on the panel that day come, man, he'll let me know, bro. Real talk. You know what I'm saying, OG? He'll let me know. Fighting Round will answer the question of whether or not Spence is washed. You think? Ryan? Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, Andrew. I don't see, man, like, I really don't see Ryan proving anything at 160. Like, if Ryan go up there and have any remote, I'm talking about any type of, just a blink of success against Errol, I was like, man, come on, man. You need to retire. Because like Shaw News said earlier, man, this would be his third Garcia. Smaller fighters, his third Garcia that he's fought. From Mikey to Danny to now potentially Ryan. What is he supposed to get out of this? Respectfully, Bud took years off that man's life. He did, man. But look, it was years that was bound to happen, man. Look how many years it took to make the fight. You know what I'm saying? And look, we're headed to a year post-fight that we don't even know when Spence is fighting. So it took several years for the fight to come to fruition. And now it's going on a year. The 1 year anniversary is coming up in 81 days. The T-Mobile massacre. We don't know when Spence jumping back in the ring. So, man, if Ryan Garcia's up next, let's see what it is, man. I'm not really up here just like wide-eyed trying to say, oh, man, that's a fight I want to see. No, we got other big fights out there that's bigger than that, man. And Spence still talking to take a tune-ups. Hey, man. He definitely didn't think Bud was a tune-up. I guarantee you that. He definitely didn't think Bud was a tune-up. He did get a little bit cloudy, you know, with trying to actually see how serious that fight was with them cataracts. You know, he thought facing Danny Garcia and Yordenis Ugas was enough. Even though they had belts. You know what I'm saying? Yordenis Ugas had the belt now. He had the final belt. All to be collected by the WBO Omaha Monster. Hey, he found out the hard way, man. I love every bit of that butt kicking. I still go back and look at the fight. Yeah, man. Those of you that was able to record it because they didn't want to put the full fight out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? While the camera zooms so close to my face, you can see the sweat drop off my face, literally. I think they were seeing the other type of body liquid drop off freaking Spence face. You know what I'm saying? Every time he was taking those instructions and shots was landing, it became bloody, man. It was a T-Mobile massacre, man. It was bloody. It was vicious, man. For real. Listen, Inouye is a great fighter, but there's levels to the fight game. Inouye been dropped by a non-ranked fighter that nobody really knew. They call him a hero, though. I mean, what they do that at, really? Like, why do they praise all these other fighters for getting dropped and getting back up and finishing the fight? But yet they still talk about Bud and Gamboa and him and Green Machine. I swear, dog. I mean, dang. If Bud would have got dropped, right? Let's just say he just would have got dropped by his shadow. They would have said he's chinny. He ain't fit. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have been talking about like, oh, he's a hero for getting up and finishing the fight. Nah, it never would have happened, man. But you make a great point on Inouye. You know what I'm saying? Inouye, you know, he got his divisions, 4-division champion, 2-time undisputed. He did what he did, but I just think his freaking bantamweight run for undisputed was marginal. You know what I'm saying? You finished that up with Paul Butler, and Paul Butler wasn't even on the pound-for-pound list of any of that. Nonito Donaire, though he's a Hall of Famer, no doubt about it, he had already fought him before. You know what I'm saying? And went the distance and came back from fighting Nordine Bali and picks up the WBC with a stoppage. He's a much older fighter. Come on, bro. Come on, man. If you compare Bud's skill and opponents to Inouye, it's like night and day. That's how big the difference is. For sure, man. We linked up. We you know, a lot of people link up on that. But I think, you know, him being a Japanese fighter with an alias monster, I don't know why people just give him passes like that. Like, yeah, you know, he's the monster. He's the monster. You know what I'm saying? He's the monster. He's going out here getting these knockouts. But Bud had 3 divisions already, cleaned up everybody at welterweight. And they say nobody he fought at welterweight made any difference. Hey, nobody leading up to the Errol Spence fight made no difference. Even Sean Porter and Kell Brook, no difference. None. Julius Ndongo, no difference. You know what I'm saying? Nothing he did made no difference. That's one of the worst misinterpretations or taken for granted that you can witness in boxing. For a trainer of a fighter that's on the pound for pound list to evaluate a future opponent and admit that he doesn't look at film, but for him to answer pretty much to say, who is he fought? Who is he fought? So they pretty much said, hey, I'm not worried about anything he has going on because he ain't fought nobody. He's not fought nobody. Period. So they basically took him for granted, man. One of the worst ever in boxing. For somebody to say, hey, he ain't fought nobody and this is game plan. It ain't broke. DJ is on record. He said, it ain't broke. Don't fix it. So we're going to go in there with what we have, even though with Team Crawford saying we've been studying Errol Spence for the longest of time. It wasn't no sense of urgency to revamp the curriculum going in there for this championship fight last year to ensure that you have a plan B, C, and D. We know Team Crawford did because you said it. You said we didn't get a chance to lead plan A. But for Team Spence, I think they had one plan, and that was to go in there and use what they, you know, how they've been fighting all the way up to that point. But Inouye doing his own thing, making a name for himself is all good. Yeah, no, for sure. Shout out to Japan. And, you know, I loved it when I was over there. You know what I'm saying? Konnichiwa. Bomac in here, that's all that matters. And active in the chat. Yeah, man. Classic, masterclass, the mad scientist. You don't get enough credit, but will be a Hall of Fame trainer. No doubt about it. Will be a Hall of Fame, is a Hall of Fame trainer. You know what I'm saying? A real champion moves up in weight and fights bigger names. And that's exactly what Crawford been doing. For sure. For sure. But see, Bomac, it comes down to him making moves and doing it so effectively that people don't want to give him full credit for actually executing it. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to give him full credit for going up, moving, because he was dispersing these cats. You know, Jose Benavidez, he smelt the 12th round, but he also tasted an uppercut. You know what I'm saying? He smelt the finish line. He smelt it. But unfortunately, we live on time. And 3 minutes per round has not ticked away. And he didn't make it to the final freaking tick. But I feel you on that, man. You know what I'm saying? Crawford been doing that, but he just been making him look like nobody until Errol Spence stepped in there. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jamal Neasy with $2 on deck, lighting up the tree, man. Appreciate you there, Neasy, as always. Spence found out that Bud was the final boss. He found out a lot that night. You know what I'm saying? History was made, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. It was brutal, dog. Come on, man. This is not even October yet. Every time I pull this picture up, it reminds me of Freddy Krueger, man. Come on, man. Who does that, dog? Come on, man. Hey, Bo Mac, did you get your shirt dry clean? Because I know it had to be some moments when they exchanged, when Crawford landed them punches, where you know you had blood splatter all over your shirt. You know what I'm saying? You probably had enough Errol Spence DNA on you to take it to the lab and get a clone going. Y'all could have been cloning Errol Spence if you really wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that, Neasy. Ever since I'm outside, we at the backyard cooking big fish and some grilled steak. Hey, man. Hey, don't even tempt me like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You know I pull up to Omaha anytime, man. I still got the same number, bro. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. You know, that fish fry, you know what it is. Jamal Neasy Bud said he only used 2% of his full power against Spence. If Bud went all out, the whole stadium would be swept away like a hurricane. Hey, dog. Hey, man, it went from strap season to Bomac to patch season. You know what I'm saying? It went from strap season to patch season. That man said he had cataracts. That's why he had red bottoms on that night, man. You know what I'm saying? He had a fighter coming there with a fishing net on, man. He had a fighter coming there with a fishing net on. It was brutal, man. You know what I'm saying? It was brutal. The 1 year mobile massacre, the T-Mobile massacre is on the horizon. 81 days out, y'all. 81 days up. It's about to be a reunion. Shoot. Blue Hustle on deck. Shoot, you want to fight anyway. Yeah. We was talking about that earlier, man. Bomac just mentioned, like, you know, pound for pound, moving up and fight big names. Well, definitely Shoe on the rise, and he will definitely be a big name for Inouye. Even though Inouye has a heavier chest plate than Shoe, much more accolades. Shoe say he wouldn't mind getting a fight. It'll be a good fight, man. Real talk. Shoe would be a tougher fight than any of those tune-ups Inouye fighting. Ugh. That's what I'm talking about, man. That fight right there. That's what it is. I'm just curious to know, you know, like, this is an in-house fight, of course, right? Like, aren't they both signed to the same promoter? Shoe and Inouye, I believe they signed to the same promoter, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he said 2%. Man, hey, dog. hey, Bo back 2%. You got Derek looking like this 2%. You try to say 2% had DJ looking at EJ. It had DJ looking at EJ off 2%. That's just flat out wrong, man. That's just flat out wrong right there. 2% had DJ looking through his fighter, man. Don't even look like the same fighter, bro. Come on, turn that jab into a hook. Come on, man. Why? Why, man? Yeah, we know that, Arnold. Madrimov in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Madrimov said at the presser Bo Mac that he's not Errol Spence. We know that. Because we haven't seen you on the pound for pound list. We know that. We know that, Madrimov. We know that. But you about to become a victim just like Spence, for real. You know what I'm saying? You about to become a victim just like Spence. It's only a matter of time. That picture gives Freddy Krueger nightmares, for real, dog. I was like, he over there giving instruction and Crawford out there execute, man, in brutal fashion. Hey, man, this man will never be the same after that fight. Jesus Christ, that's right on the chin. I don't think it gets any more on the chin than that, man. That's not even on the jawline. That's on the chin. That is absolutely on the chin, dog. Freddy Krueger never pull up to Omaha because of Bud. Dang, that's a good one. Freddy Krueger never pull up to Omaha because of Bud. Hey, man, Freddy Krueger might wait. The Bud had a boat out on the water, man. You know what I'm saying? He reaching down to get that fish. Freddy might come out, man. You know what I'm saying? You know how Freddy likes surprises. You know what I'm saying? Bud got that aura. You can tell you in the presence of greatness. Yeah, man, I was just talking about, you know, how these fighters be on here talking. You know, like Ryan Garcia saying he's going to try to do what Bud couldn't finish. And, you know, he's always pulling up on these fighters, man, out of nowhere. You know, he different, man. You know, I know it's a lot of fighters. They talk back and forth. They trash talk one another online all the time. But I think majority of the one that trash talk and brought up the Kunta and all that, people saw what happened, man. They'll talk about Bud from afar. But then when he come up on them, it's like, hey, man, you know, it's just talk, man. That's what we do in boxing. It's just talk. That's all. Just like when Roy Jones pulled up on Fat Joe and he said it's just rap. And Roy said it's just rap. Bud said, it's just talk. Yeah, it's just talk there, Bud. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. You know what I'm saying? Shout to Boxing Talk in the building. Yeah, man. Bo kicking it with us. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the reality of what happened on the eve of the T-Mobile massacre anniversary that's approaching in 81 days, man. Nisha said Jason couldn't pull off a massacre like at the T-Mobile arena. Who is that? I'm lost. Even Chucky don't want no smoke, Crawford. Hey, first of all, you know, we know Crawford already has proven he can fight bigger guys, right? Chucky, man, what he gonna do? Gnaw on his ankles? You know what Chucky gonna do, man? Now you know damn well they're not gonna give Crawford credit for goddamn beating up Chucky like he did Errol. You know what I'm saying? It'll be too much of a massacre, man. They still haven't recovered from last year. They still haven't recovered. It's a lot of people in the trailer park, and they're sleeping outside the trailers in sleeping bags. They don't only have a trailer. They're just going over there because it's just a trailer park, man. They got tents and sleeping bags. They still haven't recovered from losing that. It was tragic. Crawford F around and put both Dumbala and Chucky in their place. Hey, man, he put a lot of people in their place. He put the aerosexuals in their place. He put Jamel Charlo and everybody else that was on the sideline. He put Jerry Jones in his place. He put an entire boxing community who didn't believe he'd get it done in their place. You know what I'm saying? He definitely put Errol Spence in his place, out his place, back in his place, out, in again. You know what I'm saying? It was just bad, man. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the worst beatings we've seen in since I've been covering boxing. I think that's one of the worst beatings that we've seen from a fighter that was on the pound for pound list with the fighter who basically delegated the punishment. How can this even go down and not be talked about? A fighter that was on the pound for pound list for that long, unified champion, and looked just as easy as when he fought Amir Khan. It was too much, man. It was too much. It was just too much, man. They'd never recover from that. But hey, my people, shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. You already know what it is. Big salute for all y'all showing up and supporting. Big shout out to Omaha Monster. Shout out to Team Crawford. Salute to Bo Mac on deck. You know what I'm saying? We look forward always for the next one. You know what I'm saying? Especially this 4th division run. You know what I'm saying? Ismail Marjamov is the next victim. Y'all already know who he is. You know what I'm saying? Pound for pound, best in boxing. Ain't no doubt about it. Until next time.